Welcome again to the amazing world of edupediaworld.com, your one-stop solution for all your educational needs. I am Professor Vineet Singh and we are discussing the concept of marketing through these videos and sessions. Now today we will be talking about customer delight and satisfaction. Now, if you are watching my previous videos, I have explained there the definition of customer and how they are different from consumer. For the benefit of those who have joined edupediaworld.com late, I would like to differentiate between these two terms, that is customer and consumer, for your benefit. Customer is something which purchases a product or services and not necessarily he consumes it. A consumer, as the name suggests, is someone who consumes the product or services. Customer is a person who purchases it. To give an example, my dad bought me a bike, but he is not using it. He has bought the bike for me. I am using the bike, I am riding the bike. So my dad becomes a customer because he has paid money for it, he has purchased it on my behalf. And I become the consumer because I am consuming that goods and products. Here in this case, this bike. So we'll talk about what makes customer happy, delighted and satisfied through this video. Let's begin. Now when a customer is happy, when he sees, or when you see a reaction on his face, which glows, and you can make it out that he is happy or overwhelmed with my offering, and there is a sign of wow on his face, then customer is the happy guy looking at your service or consuming your service. So let's understand who is customer. Now taking what I just discussed, this definition stands: one who uses the product or service, the one who purchases the product or service, or the one who influences the product or service. All these three categories will fall into customer. Now mind this thing, there are two types of customers: internal as well as external customers. If I talk about internal customers, I mean, if I am an employer, if I have got a company and I have got my employees working for me, now they are my internal customers because they are also using my product, my services, and they are using it by purchasing it. Though they are working for my company, but they are using my offering, so they become my internal customers. As far as external customers is concerned, these customers are found in market. They purchase my offering in the market, in the open market. So these two categories of customer I need to keep happy. Now there's a model talking about customer satisfaction model, and this is known as T-Ball model. Now what this says, if you see here, the square represents company offering. It can be product, it can be services. And the circle represents customer needs. If you see this third figure, the circle is, or the square which is representing the company's offer is encircling the circle, not fully, but it is only covering the half part or small part of the circle. It means through my offering or through a company's offering, I'm able to satisfy, I'm able to cater to the need of customer partially. So in that way, the customers, which is represented by a circle over here, will not be happy, will not be satisfied. So in that way, the ideal state would be the square should be covering, should be encircling the whole of the circle. It means my offering or my goods or services has completely catered to the expectation of the customer. And as I did that, my customer is very happy, very satisfied with my performance. So this is Tibol model when it talks about the customer's satisfaction model. Okay, moving ahead. Now if you see, there are various categories of customer. Broadly, there are angry customers, demanding customers, and passive customers. Let us understand these three categories one by one. Angry customers are those customers who are very vocal about their demand. If something falls or if something goes wrong, they are very, very aggressive, very vocal. They'll come to you, they'll approach you, they'll shout at you, and they'll ask for the compensation. Or they'll express their not so liking attitude, and they'll be very, very vocal about that. Demanding customers are those customers who are looking for benefits more than what they pay. They look for more discount, they look for freebies. If something is not up to the expectation, they'll ask you to replace that, they'll seek a compensation. Now, third category is of passive customers. Now, these customers, they'll use your product, your services, but they are not vocal, they are not aggressive about that. They're happy with what you are offering to them, even they like it or not like it. They are not going to pass that information to their friends, to their contacts. They'll take that and they'll not talk about it. To give an example, I have got a friend who falls into this category of passive customers. Now, whenever he goes to a restaurant about which he does not like the food, but he'll not give any feedback to his contacts, to his friends, if somebody asks him about that particular restaurant. He'll simply smile, he'll simply nod, and he'll say that the food is okay. And these passive customers, if you see, they are not good to the company or to the market as a whole, because they are not at all, they are inert to giving any reaction. And this is not good for a marketeer perspective. If I want to sustain, if I want to improve, I need to get honest feedback, which is given by these two customers, these two first and second categories of customer, that is angry customers and demanding customers. Whereas passive customers, they will not speak a word about it, which is not good. Okay, now as we're talking about these three categories of customers, and they react looking at the offering, looking at your product and services. Now, what exactly is difference between good service, bad service, and excellent service? We'll try to understand the differentiation between these three things through an example over here. As far as good customer service is concerned, when the customer gets treatment that he or she was expecting. I was expecting a hot, crispy pizza with a lot of cheese topping, and I got that. I'm happy, I'm okay, I'm satisfied. And that will qualify as a good customer service. What is bad customer service? Now, I was expecting a crispy, a hot, with a lot of cheese topping pizza, but I haven't got that. I have got a soggy pizza. I have not got the cheese topping. So my expectation level was more than what I got. So that makes me a sad customer, and that is called a bad customer service. And what exactly constitutes an excellent customer service? Now this goes one step ahead than a good customer service. I was expecting a hot, crispy, with a lot of cheese topping pizza. I got that, and along with that I also got a Diet Coke free. Now this gesture overwhelms a customer. So that will fall into the category of excellent customer service, where the marketeer goes a step ahead in order to delight my customer. So exactly what determines customer satisfaction? If you see, customer satisfaction is a difference between perceived service and expected service. It means whatever I was expecting and whatever I have got, my perception after receiving my service is not matching, is not in tandem with the expected services. Now this difference between these two, perceived service and expected service, will determine customer satisfaction. If expected service gets greater than perceived service, then the customer will not be happy. But if perceived service is greater than expected service, the customer will be highly satisfied and will be happy and delighted. So far we understood about the customers, the various categories of customers, the type of services which makes customer happy and satisfied. Now the one more moot question is, why customer leave? And there can be many reasons, but through these slides I try to unearth the important reasons why customer leaves. If you see through this pie chart, the biggest chunk is of poor services, that is 69%, followed by product dissatisfaction, which is 13%, and so hence and so forth. Now if you see, the biggest chunk of this, of the reason of why customer leave, is of poor service. Service, if I'm in business of service industry, I should be trying to provide the service spot on in the first attempt. Because what happens if I fail to do so? The percentage of 69% is a big number, and because of this, my customers leave me and they go to competition. So any marketeer who is true to his worth should be taking great care about the quality of service what he is rendering to the market. So this was all about customer satisfaction and delight, and I hope you liked it. I'll come back with more session on marketing in coming videos. Till then, be good and keep learning, and thank you for watching Edupedia World videos.